Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Middle-aged Dad Does Life. For those who are not coming back, who are new, hello and welcome. We're going to look today at something that's a little unusual for the channel. So I've done quite a lot of MR2 repairs and so on, and upgrades and modifications, and I know a lot of you, in fact probably most of you, are here for that. However, this is Middle-aged Dad Does Life as a channel, not Middle-aged Dad Does MR2s. So I'm going to be doing something a little different to the norm, and that is to have a look at some watches. Now, I believe that cars and watches have a lot of connections as far as the aesthetics, as far as the mechanics, as far as the interest in how they work and so on, and modifications. There's a lot of connections between the two worlds. And I think a lot of people who like cars also like watches, to be honest. So what we're going to do today is have a look at the current market for copies and the market for homage watches. So the copy we're going to look at today, is a Rolex. It's a Rolex Submariner. It is not a Rolex, should I say. It is a £20 Wish copy Rolex that nobody's going to want to wear. You'll get an idea of just how poor and badly made this is in a short while. And the homage we're going to look at is the Invicta Pro Diver. So there's two available, one in blue and the one in black. I've been wearing both of these. I did do a video which was an unboxing of one, and I've been wearing the other, but the footage for some reason didn't work out. It didn't record properly, so I'm redoing this now for you guys. And obviously I've already taken all the labels off, so I can't redo an unboxing of something that's unboxed. So we're just going to have a quick run through them and have a look at the differences between the homage watches and the copy watch. So first of all, let's start with the copy. We generally, I think most people can accept that the Rolexes are something to aspire to. A Rolex watch is something that people have when they're financially successful. I personally can't afford a Rolex, and I'm sure lots of you out there can't either. So the option to many is to go and get a copy. So I decided to do that. I don't approve of copies. I don't like copies. I think it's theft of ideas and theft of trying to use the brand to try and get a financial gain, which I definitely don't agree with. As a photographer myself, I hate copyright theft and so on. So don't think I've bought this because I like them. I really haven't. I detest the idea of a copy watch. The box, I mean, it says Rolex on it. It's sort of the same colour as a Rolex box, but it really is low quality, terrible mush. So we'll get rid of that. The watch itself, when you first hold it, it's incredibly light. There is no way anybody putting this in the hand will ever think that this is an actual Rolex. Not in a million years. It's made out of what I call Chinesium, really cheap quality metal. The bracelet links are hollow, just bent pieces of metal. The clasp, although it does have the spring clips, and it's quite secure, to be fair, it's just stamped metal, horrible mess. It's terrible, it's awful. So the quality's terrible, but also they're just unashamedly not even trying. If you look at the second hand, it's ticking, not sweeping. That means it's a quartz movement, and I'm pretty sure they don't do a quartz Submariner at Rolex. So it's so obvious this is a cheap copy. It's unreal. Now you can get better copies. You can get sort of £100 or £200 copies, but I think if you're paying that money for something that's just a copy, I think you'll get other options, which I'm going to show you in a moment, that are better value for money. You're not getting a decent watch when you get a copy. You're getting a very, very cheap simile to what it is. Another example being, if you look at the movement in that dial, it's just terrible. There are 120-ish very loose clicks. It's just awful. Now, some people might like that. Some people might say, I want that brand on my wrist. I want to look like I have a Rolex. And they would say, you've only paid £20 on Wish, Craig. I would pay more and get the better one. That's up to you. I'm not telling anybody they shouldn't wear these. I'm not telling anybody they should wear these. All I'm saying is that is poor quality. It's a quartz movement, so yes, it's going to be accurate. However, the loom is atrocious. Let me show you that. I mean, just not even worth bothering with. Atrocious loom, atrocious build quality. This has been in the box and handled. It's not been worn, and it's already scratched all around the edge, all around the terribly plastic coated dial insert. It's awful. So there's your one option. You can go out and you can spend 20 quid on Wish and get yourself that, or you can maybe get one of the dearer ones that is around £100–200 mark and have a copy. Give me a few seconds, I'm just going to set something up and I'll be back to you. Right everybody, this is a pair of Invicta Pro Divers. Now I will preempt what I'm about to do by saying I was sent these. I didn't buy them. So what I say, you need to keep that in mind. However, I will be true and honest. If I don't like something, I'll tell you. If I do like it, I'll tell you. This is not a paid advertisement. They haven't said, here's our watches and X £100, look after us and make sure everybody gets a good review. They've sent me the watches and said, do a review as you see fit. Now, the blue watch comes under the model number 9094 OB. The 9094 is the model. The OB refers to the dial. So this is what they call the original dial. It's the original coin edge, not the scalloped edge, which is like a Omega style. This is a coin edge. And the black watch comes under the model number 8926 OB. Now I got them to send me the OB versions because I prefer the coin edge to the scalloped edge. That's just purely a preference thing. Some people prefer the scallop. I have heard in other reviews of these watches, however, that the scallops make it a little more difficult to turn. I did do a review, like I said, I did do an opening of these. It didn't work out, the video didn't work, so I can't show you them being opened, but they pretty much came like this, to be honest. They came in these boxes in a plain wrapper. They had plastic cover on the face, plastic cover on the back, plastic covering these, little blue tape over all the strap clasps, and then in the box. I mean, there was nothing crazy about it. They come with a warranty documentation information book, which isn't specific to this watch. It shows small seconds and it shows other things like chronographs and stuff that these watches don't have. So it's an Invicta book, not an Invicta Pro Diver book. They come with little warranty cards, if I can get them out, saying that they come with a 2-year warranty, but if you register, you get an extra 1 year. So there's 3-year warranty with these, which for the price, if you were to buy these, is crazy. A 3-year warranty, to be honest. In the UK, you only have to have a 1-year warranty with the product. Europe is a 2-year, but you can register and get a 3rd year included in that. Now, I've resized this because I've been wearing it. It did come with this little plastic Invicta tag on it. On the back of that is a VR code. I've taken one link out and I've been wearing this watch for a few days now. I've worn it to a party, I've worn it around the house, I've worn it out driving the car. I've given it some good use, and I like it, to be honest. I really do. That's you know, a preempt for where we were going to end today. I like this watch. It's a nice watch. This watch, this 8926, retails between £80 and £100, so 100 to 120 US dollars. The blue one retails around £60, I believe, £60 to £80, depending on where you buy them from. These came sent to me through Amazon Prime. So I looked at the prices there, and that's what these were coming up to. So about £160-ish for the two. Don't know why the blue one is so much cheaper. It just is. So if you're going to buy them, this one's, like I say, around £80 to £100, depending where you get it from. And there's always sales on and things that you can keep an eye out for. Now, the difference between this and the Rolex is night and day. There's a good weight to this. I haven't weighed it myself. There are reviews out there that tell you the weight of these. But it feels a good weight. The links in the bracelet are solid links. It's a hollow end link. This piece here is hollow, but the actual links themselves are solid. They're not screw pins, they are push pins, but the sprung ones, and they're nice. They're not just a standard friction fit, they're a sprung split pin that really works well. The clasp is nicely brushed, has the security clasp over the top, but it is just a friction fit and it is stamped metal. It's nothing too fancy. So the bracelet itself is good, but each end of it is a little cheaper, which personally I think they could charge a lot more for these if they just upgraded the bracelet to be solid end links and a much better bracelet clasp on it. The Invicta logo is everywhere. Now this is something I hate about these watches. Invicta logo on the clasp, Invicta logo on the face, Invicta logo on the second hand. I don't know if you can see that there going around on the second hand. Invicta logo on the side of the watch, and an Invicta logo right down here on the back. Oh, and another one on the rotor. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see the Invicta logo there and here. As you can see, it is heavily branded. This is something I detest about this watch. A word to Invicta, if you're watching this, stop. Please stop. I believe they also used to have their name on every single internal link as well, but this is ridiculous. It is not classy. It is not nice. Stop doing it. On the face, fair enough. You know, you need to brand your watch. On the clasp, fair enough. On the rotor, it's a nice little rotor, that being yellow. Having the Invicta branding printed on it. Not too bad. But then to add it on the back and on the back of it as well, on the case, it just seems silly. Exhibition case, I like that. That's nice. It's good to be able to see what's going on inside. This is a Seiko NH35A movement, which is an automatic movement, as you can see the rotor spinning there, which offers hacking and hand wind. So we'll unscrew the screwable, my goodness, I've forgotten the name, the knob, forgotten the name, sorry guys. What we then do is, as we turn clockwise, that winds the watch. If we pull it out to change the time, you'll see the second hand hacks and stops. So you can get pretty precise on your time settings on this, like literally to the second. I can wait for it to get round to 0, hack the seconds, set my time, and then exactly on the second, push it back in and it starts again. I don't know if you can see the date complication there, but if I push back in, just one click, we can go backwards and we can change the date. And it feels pretty good, to be honest. I like the feel of this whole setup. The winding feels like there's some good resistance. It's resistive, but it's not gritty. The change of the time's smooth. The dial is really tight, really nice. Now, there's been some complaints about the quality on these watches, where some people have got them, they couldn't turn the dial, or the dial turned, but it wasn't very smooth, and people have done all sorts, put them in showers and watches and things. So the quality control from Invicta hasn't been amazing. However, I will say that both of these watches have turned up in amazing condition and are working perfectly fine, and I've had no issues with either of them. The second hand stopped on this, but I'd had the case back off. And when I took the back off again and put it back on, it worked again. So I'm wondering if I've just let the seal the little rubber gasket maybe hang in and catch on something. So I don't know if that was a quality issue or me. I'm happy to accept it's probably me. The dial insert here is aluminium, which I don't like. The movement on the dial is not too bad, to be honest. It feels quite solid when you're turning it. It feels pretty good. However, I think something like a ceramic insert would make this a higher end watch. Would make it a nicer watch and able to charge a little bit more for it. So going back, what we're saying is it is a hacking movement, and in the back you can see it is an automatic NH35A Seiko. So good quality, reliable movement. Everything about this watch, as far as how it works, is fantastic. Everything about this watch, as far as how it's made, is pretty good, with some issues. So I've already said the branding is ridiculous. The ends of the clasps, the ends of the bracelet, sorry, the clasp and the end links are terrible. This dial insert is not the best. I don't know if you can see when I spin it like this, but it just feels like it's been sort of pushed in. There's little dents here where it feels like they've pushed it down with their fingers or something. So yeah, opening everything up and using it, it's great, but just little touches that would make it a little bit better. Here, as you can see, we've got the Invicta wings on the end of the second hand as a counterweight. Get rid of them. A lot of people are modifying these now as well, so they're buying these and then changing the bits they don't like. So one thing is to polish the Invicta off, and on one of these watches I'm going to do a lot of this as well. Polish the Invicta off, so you sand it down and polish it back to a smooth finish, or even a brushed finish if you wish. Some people get rid of these protection lugs and make it more of a rounded two sides, so I'll make this the same shape as that side. Then a strap change and an insert change, and you can get the inserts for these. It would make it a really good watch. So if we just had the branding on the front and maybe on the rotor, that'd be enough branding. Potentially even leave it on the clasp, and you know what, that'd be a pretty good watch. It's got the Mercedes hands, as they're known. If you look at the hour hand is Mercedes hand, it sort of looks like a Mercedes logo. That is on the Rolex, the original Rolex itself. So it's paying homage. It's saying I'm like a Submariner. I'm sort of like the Rolex, but I'm my own version, and I like that. It's not trying to be something it isn't. It's a cheap watch. It's a reliable watch, and it's an attractive watch. Fits the wrist well. Like I say, I've got an 8-inch wrist and I've taken one link out. It fits me well. One thing that is good is the micro adjust. They have 4 positions for micro adjust on the inside of the bracelet. And yeah, I think it wears well on my quite large wrists, but I know people who've got these on a 7-inch wrist and look okay too. The only real difference between this one and the other one, so between this and the 9094, is the colour, I believe. Some people have said the blue one is bigger, but I don't see it. They look pretty much the same to me. They look almost identical, if not actually identical. Same build quality. It's branded everywhere. Poor clasp. End links are hollow, but the bracelet is solid. This being the OB has the coin edge. It has the same feel to the controls. This isn't ticking at the minute because it's not wound up. Let's give it a shake, and it'll start moving round. So it's working well. It's working fine. The bezel insert again is poor quality. I love the dial on these in that this is just a plain black, but the blue one has like I don't know if this is going to show on camera, but it has the sort of reflectivity, the nice glint I don't know what to call this. I'm not a watch expert, but I think they've done a great job of the dial on this, and that's probably why this one won't be the one that I'll modify heavily. This one will be the one that I'll modify heavily, because I like the dial. What I'm probably going to do is put a nice bezel insert in, get rid of the Invicta logo on the side, and maybe put a whole better bracelet on, or maybe just change the end links if I can get some that match, and the clasp. And I think then this is a great watch for me. I think it'd be amazing. I like the black one as it is, but I prefer the blue face. The black one I think will be more of a day-to-day. The blue one for if I'm going somewhere, doing something like a family party or something. I don't have expensive watches. I don't have the option to buy them, so you know, these are my little I can't say expense because I didn't pay for them, but my little treat as to what I'm gonna have as my presents and stuff. You know, if I've got a little bit of money to spend, I might buy a nice watch. I've bought some other watches that I'm going to be doing little looks at, and other options of ways to keep cheap watches, to get cheap watches in your life, to have something that's a good watch, it's classic, good looking, works well, reliable, well made, but doesn't break the bank. So not this, because this is cheap Chinese rubbish from Wish. Don't buy these, in my opinion. Buy these. There are a few alternatives to the Invictas, so there is competition. A lot of people like the Orient watch, the Orient Mako, and the Orient, can't remember the other one. There's two basically that are a diver style watch that are very similar. A lot of people swear by the Orient as a brand, and a lot of people hate Invicta as a brand. I can see why. Invicta started out as quite a high quality brand. They got bought out after a quiet period of not making any watches, and the people who bought them seemed to not care too much about the quality and the quality control. Now, that seems to be different with the Pro Diver. Most people who get a Pro Diver seem to have a good experience. I did. Like I say, the only issue I've had with either of these watches is this one stopping, and I believe that that's probably my fault, not the watch itself or the manufacturer. I was just being nosy and taking the back off and having a look in there and seeing how everything worked and what the seals were like. And it's just a black rubber O-ring. There are a million and one things you can do to these. Like I said, the quality now on the Pro Diver is much better than it's ever been on any of the other watches. A lot of people are now starting to come to Invicta as a better quality brand to purchase, and they're getting quite popular now. But like I said, there are others. A lot of people like Seikos, so these have got Seiko movements in them. Obviously, great Japanese quality, reliable movements, the NH35As. Now, some people say that, you know, if you want a proper Seiko, you get a Seiko, because these are unbranded NH35s. They've just got NH35A on the side, and they've been rebranded as Invictas. Seiko themselves make exactly the same movement, just brand the rotor Seiko and sell it on, and people fall for that and think that makes it a better movement, and it's the same movement made in the same factory. However, the SKX range of divers, which is very, very popular, is now discontinued, so you can't get them anymore, and as such the prices are rocketing to like £300. There's a massive modding movement for those, though. A lot of people are getting them and doing modifications. I'm in a couple of those groups on Facebook, but those modifications also work on these. They also work on the Orient. They also work on a couple of the other brands. Heimdallr are another one that a lot of people like. So there's quite a lot of cheaper watches now that are coming out that are using quality movements. The SKX, by the way, one thing I will say, the SKX version of these watches, the divers, don't use the NH35. They use the older, non-hacking, non-manual wind version, which I can't remember the model number of. So even if you get an SKX, a lot of people are putting this movement into that watch. So a lot of people are saying that the Seiko is a better watch. Yeah, there are things that are better about it, but then they're putting the movement that's used in these into the Seiko. So it's a personal choice thing, I think. A lot of this comes down to personal choice. Do you like a diver's watch, or do you like something more decorative? This was purely about divers watches, and more importantly, the Submariner look, the Rolex Submariner copy, which is a very popular watch, if now unavailable. It's made of unobtainium, I think, now, and they are getting very, very expensive when you can buy them, and we're talking tens of thousands, if not 20,000 to buy for a watch which retails for a lot less brand new. However, Rolex have stopped making them for a short while, don't seem to want to be selling any, and therefore it's pushing the second-hand market to crazy levels. So there we go, guys. Just my thoughts. The options of cheap copy or slightly more expensive but better built homages. I'll go for the homage every day. You do whatever you think is right for you. I'm not going to tell you you're right or wrong, that's your choice, but I personally will stick with something like the Invicta as my watch, and get the reliability of Seiko, get the build quality, the solid build of a 316L stainless steel case, the nice straps just with the poorer quality end links and clasps, and do a bit of modification. So, you know, if I'd bought these, that would be 80 and 100, for example, pounds. For another 30 or 40, we can change the bezel, we can change the strap, we can make these really nice watches. A little bit of polishing and a little bit of time, we can get rid of some of the branding that makes this look a little gaudy, and you can have something that looks quite classy because it looks like a Submariner. Why wouldn't it look classy? But at a sensible price. We have, like I say, got more MR2 stuff coming, but if you like the watches, if you like this content, please comment down below. If you dislike it, please comment down below and let me know, because I need more content for the channel. So I think watches are a way to go, and a way to go that I can afford to do. I've also got some DIY stuff coming. I've built a deck out in the back garden, so that's going to happen in the next few weeks. You're going to see me building that. I built it a couple of weeks ago, but I need to edit the footage. Comment down below, what do you want to see, guys? Yes, I can do more MR2 stuff. There is some more to do. I have, like I say, parts to go on. I have some modifications to finish, but that's not going to last forever, and I can't buy another car to do more car modifications. So when that's finished, do you want to see more watches? Or now, as we're slowing down, do you want to see more watches? Do you want to see some DIY, or is there anything else? I have a 3D printer. Could maybe do some stuff with that. I do a fair bit of design and custom creativity stuff. I'm also a photographer, so I could maybe do some stuff about the photography. Just let me know. If you like the channel, please subscribe if you're not already. Please hit the notification bell. For some reason, subscriptions don't seem to make any difference to letting people know that I've put a new video up. So if you want to see the new videos, hit the notification bell and it'll let you know when I put a video up, whatever that may be. So definitely comment below and let me know what you guys are after. And as far as this video, we're done. Hope you all have a great night. Hope you all have a great day, and I shall see you next time.